Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? I hope you've had a lovely morning with all of your learning today. So this afternoon, our activity, we're going to be going outside. We're going to go on a forage, on a scavenger hunt to collect different parts of nature that we can use to put into our nature weaving loom. So if you remember yesterday afternoon, you were making these. I'm sure that they all look fab. And so today we're going to put some bits of nature into them, do some weaving. So before we do that, let's just have a look at some pictures of what they might look like. So hopefully that gave you some ideas of the kind of things you might look for when you go out on your scavenger hunt. You don't want to be bringing back in loads and loads of stuff because remember, you've not got a massive loom to be weaving into, do you? So think about that, the size of your loom and the kind of things that you're going to be bringing back in with you. Little blades of grass are not going to fit for me because they're just going to fall between my gaps. So I've got to think carefully about what to collect. So are you ready? Should we go and do some collecting, some foraging, and then bring them back and do some weaving? Let's go. Bit blustery again today, isn't it? But at least it's not as cold as it was yesterday. So I've been outside, I have foraged, I've scavenged, I've found different types of leaves, different types of flowers, and rather excited, I found some feathers as well. So I've got some different feathers that I'm going to try to weave into my loom. Should we have a go? Go on then. So here's my loom, ready to be weaved into, and my pile, my treasure that I found on my foraging. Right, shall we begin? So I'm going to start with this daisy, this big daisy. And what we do when we weave, we have to go in and out through the string. So if I go under the first string, the next one I have to go over. So I go under, over, under, over, all the way along, so that each one, I'm doing the opposite, so under, over, and then under, whoops, and over at the end, so that when I then pull that, I have got my flower is woven between, so you can see that's going under and over. So I've got my flower. Next, what shall I try? Shall I go for one of these big thick leaves so we can see that a bit easier? So because you see at the beginning on this one I started under, so this one I'm going to start over. So it's going to be over that piece of string. So this first piece of string, over there, and then I'm going to go under the next one, and then over the following one. Can you see that? And then I will go under the next one. So you can see we're going over, under. So I've gone over that one, and then I'll go under. And I'm going to continue that all the way to the end, and then I'll get my next piece and start there. Okay? And here it is, my finished piece of nature weaving on my nature loom. And you can see that actually once I'd started, I realised I was making some gaps. I got lots of the twigs, lots of the stalks of the plants that I'd collected were leaving gaps. So I then thought, well, I can go back and weave in some other leaves and some seed heads and some bits of grass that I'd found just growing long in the verge. And it's not going to be perfect first time. You might have to try again on another piece, or you might have to keep trying to squeeze in different things. And that's part of the fun, is being experimental and getting crafty. And if something doesn't quite work out the first time, think about how can you make it better? What can you do? So once you have completed your nature weaves, we're then going to look at each other's and pay some compliments. Have a fab afternoon, everybody, and I look forward to seeing all of your beautiful pieces of woven nature uploaded into your activities.